This is AI Buddy Landell, and you're about to listen to Booking the Territory, the unprofessional wrestling podcast. So stop working yourself into a shoot, you numbnuts. This show is strictly for entertainment purposes only. Don't be a dumbass and get offended by anything on this show. And if you do get offended, that's a you problem. Before I throw it to the fellas for another banger of an episode. Shout out to all the BTT patrons, including the largest Patreon contributors of the show, Disrespectfully Classy, Mark E. Blassie, Mike Childry, Joe Ice, Good Old Justin, and Mike H. Now enjoy this Outlaw Mud Show podcast. Remember, if it don't snow, it don't go. And be blessed and be a blessing, pal.
Hi, everybody. This is Jim Cornette, pro wrestling legend, and you're listening to the Booking the Territory Unprofessional Wrestling Podcast.
This is the artist formerly known as Daryl Van Horn, James Mitchell, the Sinister Minister, and I'm here to let you know I would rather slam my cock in a car door than to miss the dulcet tones of Hard Body Harper, my illegitimate son, on Booking the Territory podcast.
Woo, Messi, this is professional wrestler Jimmy Valiant, the Boogie Woogie Man. Tell my people, my brothers and sisters, don't you dare miss Booking the Territory. Oh, yeah.
This is a one-man gang. You're listening to Booking the Territory Pro Wrestling Podcast.
Welcome back, everyone, to this week's episode of Booking the Territory, the unprofessional wrestling podcast. For today, we are covering WCW Saturday Night on TBS from April the 10th of 1993. If you are listening on YouTube, please subscribe to the channel and hit the like button on the video. And make sure you type multiple comments, 3, 4, 5, 6. It doesn't matter. Please do it. We love that. Those algorithms love that type of stuff. And lastly, it definitely makes Harper very happy, and it helps the channel grow. I see
so
all you out there.
Multiple comments?
Yeah, you can put as many as you want.
And that helps?
I mean, Matt Wilson's out there. Matt Wilson, David Ford, and God, I'm going to forget names now. They're all out there putting 3, 4, 5, 6, Space Bay. Like, there's one of the episodes a few weeks ago had like 70 comments.
What?
Because the discussion just kept going on and on. So, sure, we love all those comments. Keep making them. It helps.
I'm going to add to it to fucking get it going.
Yeah, just don't piss anybody off because you're good at doing that.
What?
You know how you just trigger people. It's like what you do. Like when you go in the People of Metairie Facebook group and start rumors. Before we get to that, because I don't know if Crockett's heard that one, let me welcome the man who's in here from the Wrestling Podcast About Nothing. That's on a very long hiatus. Still nothing after all these years. He's filling in for Doc this week and next because Doc's got youth sports stuff. Crockett, let me welcome you in. How you doing?
I was doing great, man. I woke up this morning just so looking forward to this. You know how it's been so long, well-deserved me time. But after the day I've had, I just want to hop in the tub and kind of just put my head under the water and not come up again.
So he's gonna get his me time right now, and as soon as he's done, it's gonna be bath bombs with Mike Crockett time.
Yeah. Ugh. It's been an evening, so hopefully let's turn this around. Let's turn this thing around.
All I'm gonna say is, your kids are younger than Doc's, and Doc's kids are young. I can't imagine being you two at the age I'm at right now with young children. Like, no, I literally, me and my wife are like, boy, we're almost there. Like we talk about it often. We're almost there. We are almost there. And it is something to look forward to. I'm not close to retirement, but when you got 19 and 16-year-old, you're like, we're getting close. We're really getting close. So Harper had a question for you though.
Yeah.
How old are your kids?
6 and almost 4.
Oh, you got little bitty ones.
Yeah, and I did the math. When my first one graduates high school, I'll be 60. So
Jesus,
yeah, I'm in this for the long haul.
bro, that was always my fear, man. Was being an old man at the graduation. And then when I reached 35, I was like, it's not happening.
Yeah.
I was like, it's not happening. Because thinking, even if I meet a chick at 35, you date her, you court her, you get engaged. By the time you get married, I'll probably be fucking 38, 39, 40 fucking years old. So fuck it.
Right. You blew past that and you're like, I'm
Right.
not having them now.
Yeah. And every chick I've always dated, they always thought I had this like secret children, like the people under the fucking stairs fucking movie or something. They always thought I had a kid or something that like I didn't fucking talk about. And I would tell them, and they're like, so why don't you have any kids? I was like, well, I never got married. And they would look at me like I was fucking crazy.
Why don't you have kids? I pull out.
Right. And then they're like, well, you work all these jobs, so they figured I was like low key paying child support or something. It's like, no, that's not it. I'm just
He's not lying. I remember being in my like late 20s and people they just think you're abnormal because you don't have any at that point. You're like,
right.
No.
Excuse me if I didn't get some broad pregnant that I met at the swamp room 2 years ago.
Yeah, it's kind of weird how society makes you the abnormal one when it's like, can I get some credit here for being responsible? Like, I mean,
for real, dude.
just a little credit for doing the right thing, because y'all sure know how to bash the ones who don't do the right shit, but God forbid you do the right thing, and it's like, wait, what's wrong with this? Like, I can't tell you how many times, like, this is before I got married. I'm in my middle 20s, getting to my, 26, 27, and you meet somebody like, you never been married, you don't have kids? No. What's wrong with you? Nothing. Like, why is that a bad thing? Like, So anyway, I'm with you, Harper. I never understood that. And I can only imagine as you get into your mid 30s, because by that point I was married with kids, but you get into your mid 30s and beyond, you're like, you don't have kids? What's wrong with you?
Right. Something must be wrong. Like, it's like going to the used car lot and there's like a 2013 Corvette, $6,000. What's wrong with it?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone's getting married in their 20s and the 50s or whatever, and my parents got married at like 27. Like, I think like 30s is like when people get married now, right?
People don't, bro. Like, I was telling a friend of mine, Ben, he used to be a Wildcat. This was pre-COVID. We were at the gym working out, and I've got a He-Man shirt on, and he's got a Batman shirt, and like and we're not married, I have kids. I was like, dude, when I was a kid in the 80s, people would just assume we were both gay because we're rational people. We wake up and go to work every day. We're not drug addicts or psychopaths. What's wrong with us? Why aren't those two guys married? I bet they're gay.
And that He-Man is a little homoerotic anyway, yeah. So
well, come on,
T-shirt didn't help.
Come on, he's
yeah. I mean, come on. What's wrong with the power of Castle Grayskull? He's kind of. I know. You told us that story before, but yeah, I could see that. Which is crazy.
Because back then, people were still getting married like at 25 fucking years old.
Yeah, that was never going to be me. I'm sorry. Like, I wasn't. Nah. Nope. It's too young. Yeah. Too young.
Oh,
and
yeah,
you're right, Harper. They act like so you work for a living and you're making money, and they just assume it's like you're paying child support. No, I just like having things. Like, I don't know how else to say it. I like having my own shit. Like,
I just didn't want to be another fucking statistic.
Me either. That wasn't like I was the same way.
Baby mama and shit, and it's your weekend, and your mom's an asshole, and I don't want my kid around your mom because your mom fucking whatever the fuck.
So many of my friends were like that too. It was like they all had a damn horror story about the kid's
Your
mom.
dad's an
like,
asshole because he was drinking when Junior went over there. Fuck.
Yep.
Fuck that.
That's right.
That's
So
for somebody else.
Yeah, Crockett, all that said, we're going to do this show and you'll get your me time now, and we'll get bath bombs with Mike Crockett later for you as you sit in your bubble bath with your bath bombs made of Epsom salt. I don't know what the hell they put in those things.
Yeah. And I do want to chime in on something you were talking about a couple weeks ago when you and Doc met up at the stadium there, and we're paying out the ass for concessions. I can't leave the house these days without dropping $100.
Oh,
you walk out the front door, you're paying $100 no matter what. Like, just any like go to these, like, you get the little kids. You go to these like Kid Fest, Fall Fest, all this stuff.
Yeah, bro.
They charge you like
it's $10 just to walk in there.
Yeah, and you walk in there and it's just all these booths trying to sell you something else. It's
right.
It's
Dude,
ridiculous.
And the thing is, the Halloween costumes. You know how much a fucking kid's Halloween costume is now?
$40.
$40 fucking dollars.
Yeah,
I
Kids
saw
dressed up
one.
like Spider-Man for the 5th fucking time.
I saw this is going to drop on Halloween night. So how fitting of you to say that. I saw it. I was in one of the large, stores this weekend, grocery store chains that also has stuff like that. And we walked past it and I'm like, wow, this Hulk outfit is really cool. Like, I mean, because they are much cooler than that plastic bag bullshit we had when we were kids, right?
The fucking
But
Pin Cooper stuff.
Yeah. So I'm like, walk past and look at my wife and I go, man, these things are even better than they were when our kids were like when ours are, 19 and 16. I know you're like, well, wait, they had good. They weren't as good as they are now. They're even getting better. And I go, look at this. And she looks at it and I go, man, I said, look at that. It's $40. I'm like, and we'd have to buy 2 of them. No.
That's right. Right. That's $100 right there. And then if your kid dresses up like a costume that has like an accessory, because I remember, like, if you dress up like G.I. Joe, I gotta get the Uzi. Or like
Right.
if you're a He-Man, I gotta have the fucking sword, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Fuck.
I had the Spider-Man when I was a kid. It's like it had yellow on it. Like,
Yes.
there's no yellow on Spider-Man.
Right.
The fucking the plastic trash bag fucking thing is yellow.
I know exactly what the fuck he was. It was yellow. I had a Godzilla one. I got a picture of me wearing it somewhere.
Well, and then the story Doc tells about the Halloween stuff with him now, with his kids, is so not only do they have to get a costume, but they get a costume for the multiple parties. So they'll have like more than one.
Oh, fuck you.
Okay, Harper. Spoken like a man without children.
That's bullshit. You get one costume and you better not fuck it up. And that was the problem with those Ben Coop, because it was plastic, bro. And you go run around because you would wear it to school on Halloween day.
Yeah.
So that motherfucker had to last all day with you being a dumb little fucking kid. And that shit was going to get ripped within 2 seconds. That little rubber bands fucking pop, bruh. Pull it on your fucking hair.
The mask was going to crack. That plastic mask that you put around your head.
You start sticking your tongue through that little fucking reed hole. Yeah.
Dude, we had a plastic trash bag on and a mask over our face where we would barely breathe. It would be full of fucking
smell
spit.
that mask right now.
Me too.
Smell it.
And then when it was cold, you had to have a jacket underneath it. Like it didn't fit.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, Crockett, Harper and I didn't usually have that problem.
No, yeah.
Because even October 31st, it's still probably 80 degrees, if not a little warmer, or maybe you might get every now and then you might get a day where it's in the upper 60s. But other than that, that's pure luck. It just happened a cold front came through. But for the most part, yeah, we did. But I can only imagine if you're living way up in the north, you got to put a jacket on over that plastic bag.
Yeah,
candy is so expensive too. If you're getting Halloween candy, bro,
Oh God, don't get me started on that. My wife and I, we walk past it in the store. I go, the light ain't gonna be on October 31st. I'm like, look at how expensive that candy is. One bag of candy.
It's like $6, and that's just a couple little fucking Kit Kat things. And that big bag that's like a pillow is like $10 now. That's got like the fucking dots and the Tootsie Rolls and all in it. That's got like like the fucking B Team fucking candies.
Where you seen that $10 bag
box? A bag.
At the Mills house, they're giving out the little paper bags of candy corn.
Oh, those little. God, I bought a bag today from the dollar store. The little peanut butter kisses they call them, like the ones. It's just the peanut butter crap that's in the fucking wrapper.
God,
you know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what they call them, but they ain't good.
Yeah, it's just that old school fucking candy.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. No, hard pass. Sticks.
So if this is coming out on Halloween, so the day after this comes out, Harper's going to be heading down to get that Halloween cereal.
Oh fuck! I already got the Halloween cereal, bro.
Oh, you didn't wait for the big discounts?
No. Here's the thing: I ran into the sales rep for General Mills. And he's like, man, you must get the same route as I did because I see you all the time. And it's like General Mills, yeah, but the cereals. And he's like, oh, well, there's so much to General Mills than just the cereal. So I just like, well, I love those the fucking monster cereals. And this guy knew nothing about their history. He's like, those were around all year long. I was like, yeah, they were freaking around all year long. I was like, in fact, they make more in sales during Halloween than they would make during a whole year of sales back when they were around all year. And he's like, how do you know all this? I was like, I know everything. And I was telling him about the whole Dracula with the Star of David. He's like, what? I was like, bro, I gotta tell you all this shit.
You should just trade hats with the guy, and you should take off in the General Mills truck.
Right. Yeah. And so the guy gave me, so I got 3 boxes.
Freebies?
Yeah.
There you go.
Got the 3 OGs. Not that Carmela fucking, not that Carmela, whatever the fuck she's supposed to be.
Carmela Creeper?
Yeah, well, I think it's supposed to be sour fucking, what was it, sour apple or some shit? Shut up, lady. It's like the WNBA.
So you got 3 free boxes and you didn't have to wait to get it from the salvage?
No.
I'll be damned.
But I'm still going to attack with fury. I'm just waiting.
Of course you are, because 3 ain't going to last you that long.
Hell no, because I know it's going to go down. It's only a matter of time before they're $1. I'm like, yes. But watch them all be the fucking Carmela broad, because that's the one that's always on clearance, because no one wants that shit. They want the original 3.
Pig.
I don't care, bro.
Wait,
she's supposed to be Frankenberry's cousin. That's her story.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He knows the history.
And I had to tell that to the guy, too.
Wait, did you get his number?
No.
Well, no? Come on, you could be a hookup.
Yeah, we could have him on as a guest and see how much he doesn't know about the cereals.
And I was telling him how, like, back in the day, when the Frankenberry first came out, there was something in the dye that the body wouldn't break down, so when the kids would take a shit afterwards, their turds would come out pink. And these moms were fucking going crazy, and they send their kid to the emergency room. They're like, "Well, there's fucking nothing wrong with him. It's something he's eating." And it was the food dye. They had to change it.
That's just like the Halloween Burger King Halloween burger that they did a few years ago, right? The buns make your shit green or something.
Yeah, I remember that. That was like 10 years ago. With the
it wasn't that long ago, but it was right before COVID. Because I remember somebody wanted you to cut a promo or taste it and see if it made your shit green or whatever. Oh boy, good lord!
Take a picture.
Yeah. Hey, before we keep going, I did have to give one shout out. Shout out to Lawrence R., new patron. Thanks for signing up. And if you want to be like Lawrence and get all of that extra Patreon gold, go to tinyurl.com/PatreonBTT. Best way to support this show, you get tons of extra content, all the WCW pay-per-views we've done, the Clash of the Champions, which is over 20 of those now, 400 plus Patreon exclusive shows, including all of the JV Goon Squad shows as well. tinyurl.com/PatreonBTT. Sign up and be like the cool kids who support this show, and you'll get a lot of extra content. All of the Ask Mud Show Mike episodes should all be out by now. It was a 5-parter because, my God, the patrons just kept sending in questions, which was very much appreciated. We did Ask Doc this past summer. I think we did 4 of those. So there's been basically something just about every single week this year on Patreon, if not multiple times a week. tinyurl.com/PatreonBTT. Support the show. Get all that extra content. And Crockett and I are going to be doing, what the hell is it? I can't even remember. It's the next pay-per-view, whatever one. Night of Legends or I forget the...
It's the Volunteer Slam.
No, it's not.
Slamboree?
Yeah, Slamboree. That's it, not the Volunteer Slam. Anyway, Legends Night, or I forget the tagline that they gave it, but
it's
Slamboree
Night of Legends.
Slamboree Night of Legends. So I was right the first time. You see, I can't get this shit straight, but I had it straight and didn't realize it. All of that'll be available on Patreon in the coming weeks and months and whatnot. Crockett and I are tackling that one. Again, tinyurl.com/PatreonBTT, the best place to support the show and support it and get tons of extra content. All right, Crockett, what else did you want to bring up before we get into this week's episode?
Well, just a little figure out where we are in history when this episode drops, the April 10th episode of Saturday Night. The Sunday before this, April 4th, Jim Ross makes the big jump and he debuts for the WWF at WrestleMania. Everyone remembers the WrestleMania in Vegas. The world's largest toga party, they called it. And we'll hear more about that later during the show, funnily enough. But I wanted to bring up something else that I read about that I thought was kind of funny as well. Jim Ross, remember Jim Ross is always plugging his radio show during Saturday night?
Yeah.
Like on WSB in Atlanta. And he always say, like, I got this guy from WCW showing up. This guy's going to be on Sunday night or whatever it was. Yeah, Sunday night. And apparently on this past Sunday night, or maybe a Sunday before, he just decided he had Vince on, he had Bobby Heenan on, he had Shawn Michaels on, and they just made it a WrestleMania preview show, and the show was still sponsored by WCW at the time.
Oh, wow.
So without telling anybody, Jim Ross, he just turned the whole show, sponsored by WCW, into a WWF WrestleMania preview show.
I guess you figure, what are they going to do? Fire him?
Yeah. Right, he was already gone. They couldn't do anything.
Yeah, so that's kind of what happened. And actually on that show, they basically announced that Jim Ross was hired and is going to be a part of the WWF going forward. But yeah, WCW was kind of scrambling after that went down. So that was the last show that he did for WSP on the radio.
That's hilarious. Because I didn't even think about the radio show keeping going after he was gone. I mean, he's been gone now for some time, a couple months, but I didn't even think about the radio show keeping going after the fact. But yeah, like, what are they going to do to you? So I'm sure I can hear him talking to Vince. He's like, I got this television show and I got this radio program, we just plug WrestleMania there.
So that's what happened.
Yeah. Sponsored by WCW, plugging WrestleMania. Jesus Christ. If that's not the WCW thing, I don't know what is.
Yeah.
Oh boy. All right. Well, let's get into this week's episode of the show. Again, this is April 10th of 1993. This week's episode was taped April the 6th of 93, so just a couple days before, and it is the first half of the taping from that day. When we jump into the show, we immediately go to the ring. Paul Orndorff is going to be taking on Joey Maggs. The fans, I think I mentioned this last week, I don't remember, they now have pennants that say Paula on them. Like, I don't know if they were handing them out at center stage or what, but lots of people have
they
these.
had to be handed those.
Yeah. Right.
Who would take time out of their day to make that?
Well, no, I
it.
was okay.
Right.
That was the thing I was going to say. I was wondering if they were buying them like when they went to house shows or whatever. But anyway, there's tons of pennants
made somewhere.
Well, there you go. Everybody, not everybody, but lots of people have these Paula pennants, and it's great. Even Joey Maggs has a shirt that says Paula on it. I'm not sure I would have did that, but he did to get his ass kicked. And Orndorff is not happy. He is here to just beat the piss out of Maggs after all this. And I will always be amazed at stuff like this. Something so simple, you aren't even doing anything, and the people are booing you out of the building because instead of calling you Paul, they're calling you Paula. They hate you. And I just loved it. So anyway, let me go to you, Crockett. Any thoughts on what we got here with Paul Orndorff and Joey Maggs?
Yeah, it was, like you said, the simplest of stuff. And it gets over. You just go with it. It's tremendous. The thing, the WCW production right off the bat, Shivani says on commentary, "Oh, look at Joey Maggs. He's wearing a Paula shirt." And it takes them 15 seconds after that for them to get an actual shot of him in the shirt. He's saying it during Mr. Wonderful's entrance, and then it takes forever for them to actually get a shot of him wearing the Paula shirt. So that's WCW for you. At one point, Orndorff says he's going to leave because of all the Paula chants, and the old piece of shit, not the other piece of shit, but the old piece of shit who's in WCW. He's the figurehead at this time, I guess, now that Bill Watts is gone. By the way, thank God Bill Watts is gone.
Grizzly Smith. Grizzly Smith. He's talking about Grizzly. Grizzly's
the on-air guy, kind of, yeah.
Yeah, Grizzly's about to show up while Paul Orndorff leaves the ring mid-match and he's cutting his promo with Jesse and Shivani. And anyway, the pedophile is going to show up in a second.
Oh, bro, they fucking they didn't sell that shit, bro. They had that shit made, just handing it out.
Yeah, I mean, you can see all the shirts and pennants. I mean, it's ridiculous.
It's the same font and everything.
Yeah. But go ahead, Crockett. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I just had that because Harper didn't see it, so I had to clarify who when you were saying piece of shit. Because in my notes I got pedophile, creepy piece of shit as well. Because everybody knows how I feel about Grizzly, and yeah, he needs go defecate on his grave. It's my feelings towards him. He's a piece of shit. I don't know what else to say, but yeah, go ahead, Crockett. Continue.
Oh yeah. And I do want to. Yeah, I forgot to mention. Yeah, Bill Watts. Since I've been gone, Bill Watts has been ousted as the WCW chief, which is great to not see him every week and his whole let's hook him up and all that shit. So glad he's gone. But this match, not much to it. It's very simple. Over with the crowd, very over. And he goes for the pile driver, hits the pile driver. I guess we are going right to the finish here because it's really quick. And then he doesn't go for the pin right away. He kind of slaps him around a little bit, and then goes for the pin, pins him.
Yeah, he actually gave Maggs a little bit of offense when he first gets back in the ring after he's down there cutting that promo, and he spike pile drives Maggs and plays around for a second, slaps him, and then eventually pins him. But we get the pin, and we knew that was coming. But Maggs did his job, so good stuff. What were you about to say, Harper?
I mean, Maggs is he's a new Ranger Ross, huh?
Yeah, I mean, he's trying to remember. It's April 10th of 93.
Oh, yeah, you could see
he had done Smokey by this point, too. He was doing some Smoky Mountain Wrestling by this point as well.
Did he win
Beat the Champ?
Yeah. That was him, right?
I don't remember if he won it. I don't remember if he won the Beat the Champ TV title, but the thing with the Beat the Champ TV title is you can only hold it for 4 episodes. So, and eventually, if you held on to it, they basically selected. They selected 2 new ones. So, I don't remember him winning it. But then somebody's going to send me a clip. You talked about it. How do you not remember it? I don't remember, but a lot of people held it during this time.
I think I'm getting him and that guy. Who's the guy? Reno Riggins.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm getting them mixed up.
Yeah, they're in the same vein there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Reno Riggins. That's the guy that disrespected Ron Wright.
Jesus.
Yeah, that's where the clip Jesus comes from. He just completely disrespected him. Ron Wright offered him his services, and he's like, I can't do it, Mr. Wright. He's like, you want to turn down the legend of Ron Wright? Son, what's wrong with you? Jesus. All right. We continue. Jesse and Tony officially intro the episode. We then see a quick ad for Slamboree 93 happening May 23rd from the Omni. So we got about a month and a half to go. More on that as the weeks proceed. From there, we go to Cactus Jack versus Shanghai Pierce. One thing I forgot to mention as we're kicking into this episode is it's only 41 minutes without commercials. So these matches are mostly very, very quick on this week's episode. Let me go to you, Crockett, see what you got from this one.
Yeah, Cactus comes out with 2 foam pistols.
Yep.
If they say bang bang, wouldn't probably fly today. Just coming out with foam handguns. But
I don't think that would fly today.
He's got foam handguns.
You didn't see it?
Oh, I missed it.
Look. Look. See, look at him, Harper.
Okay.
Yeah, they say bang bang on one side, not on the other.
All right, you could buy them.
Watch this right here, where he throws them out to the crowd, and watch how well these barricades work.
Oh,
whoa! dude, just said, screw it, I'm coming over.
It's like a kid there in Mardi Gras reaching over to get them beads.
Yeah.
Yeah, he throws, Cactus goes to throw the foam guns into the crowd, and one bounces and comes back in the ringside area, and a guy just runs around the barricade onto the outside of the mats there and just grabs it. Nothing's gonna stop him. Good stuff. There's barricades held worse than the rope at the Sportatorium. And by the way, they still haven't learned how to spell Shanghai. It's spelled Shanghai as in hello on the screen.
Oh my God.
And even on his trunks it says Shanghai. I actually think they have it as 2 words on his tights, but HAI on the tights. So yeah. I thought that's how you spelled it. HAI.
Yeah.
I thought he spelled it with just an I.
No.
Okay. Look at the tights during the match when they start working. You'll see that it says HAI. We wanted to trust how the Texan is going to spell Shanghai, the city, right? Okay. No, I'm just messing with you.
Do it.
Yeah.
Sound it out.
Okay. All right. What else, Crockett? Okay, so we talked about earlier Jim Ross. Go to 841 with audio. Okay. Here, hold on 1 second. I'm going to hit play and we're going to get it because I don't have this timestamp. So I heard it because I watched the show. I just didn't commit it to memory. Here it is.
Pure animal.
He's quite a character, isn't he?
He is a character. Kind of reminds me, remember John Belushi and Animal House?
Here's a cover, 1, 2. Yeah, I remember that movie.
John Belushi in Animal House. He is an animal. Cactus Jack could be a member of the Delta House. But I got to say one thing, Shivani, there's nothing uglier than a fat man in a toga.
Pulls up on the chin. Sometimes it's best just not to react to some of the things you say. You know what I'm saying? Speaking of movies, how's your movie going?
My movie's going great. I'll be heading out to L.A. again. I got a date with Sly and Wesley coming up. I got to work a couple of days. But look at the face on Cactus Jack.
I love Toto Schiavone. We talked about this last week before. The no selling of the things Jesse says. He just blows right past them. He doesn't want to, rock the boat. Tony's just like, I'm just here to call the matches. I'm not getting involved in your shenanigans, insulting my friend Jim Ross. Yeah, what a stark contrast with JR and Ventura and Schiavone and Ventura. But you could tell Schiavone and Ventura just really enjoying just enjoying being with each other and doing the commentary. It's definitely a different vibe. Yeah, we said that a couple weeks ago too. It's just Tony Schiavone is just not working himself into a shoot over Jesse. He's not putting over the stuff. Like you heard him right there. He blew past it. He's like, yeah, sometimes you just gotta keep on moving and not react to what you say, Jess. Like he's just not about to get involved in the burials that Jesse's trying to deliver there. It's just, I'm just here to do my job. Pin me, pay me. Yeah, like Jesse went a long way to do this whole setup because he starts out by saying Cactus Jack is an animal, and when I first heard that, it's like that's kind of weird to say. And he goes, Animal House. And he gets into this whole thing just so he can get that line out about Fat Man in Toga.
Right. He didn't just go straight to Fat Man in Toga. He actually thought about it to set it up beforehand.
Yeah, he weaved the whole story.
That's messed up, though. Fat Man in a toga. Come on, Jess. Ah, boy. What else from this week, Crockett?
Yeah, Jesse also buries Nick Patrick at 10:32.
Let me go back. I don't have that note either. Here it is.
He's almost smiling, Schiavone.
There he is.
And there's Tex choking.
A choke using the bell and the bull rope. You talked about the bell, and yes, you could hear the bell ringing that time. But the crowd drowned it out for Nick Patrick, and there's a 1 count.
Maybe Nick just didn't want to hear it.
Well, I don't think that's the case, Jeff.
I heard it, and I'm farther away than Nick Patrick.
Well, we have the advantage of microphones around the ring that pumps the sound to us.
That's it. Give him an excuse, Tony.
The Irish whip.
Just Harper said it several times over the last few weeks. Harper, what does Jesse have?
What?
Yeah, fuck you money.
Oh yeah, he's got fuck you money because he don't give a shit. What are you gonna do? Fire me?
Right. He's not worried. He doesn't care. It is what it is.
Yeah.
I think Jesse spent too much time at Gorilla Monsoon just burying the refs. So
that's a good point. That's a good
following
point.
suit.
Yeah. I like Jesse in WCW, but when you rewatch it after all these years, you can hear him definitely throwing some shots in there at people and whatnot.
Well, yeah, back then, I mean, I don't think you would have caught it.
No, we didn't catch none of it. I mean, it was just, you just kind of watched and you were watching the wrestling. But, I mean, the toga one you might have caught. I don't remember it, obviously, but you might have caught back in the day. But there's also times when he's just kind of sliding things right in. Like, remember Crockett, he was talking about bodybuilding, and he was taking a shot at Luger on that pay-per-view we did. I can't remember which one it was.
Yes.
After Luger had left. I mean, you hear that, and now you're like, oh, yeah, that's what he was talking about. But back then, it kind of, to me, it didn't really register. Like,
right, because you just watching this, and then it's over with.
Right, you're watching wrestling just to watch wrestling. You're not watching with the information you now have where it's like, oh, well, yeah, Luger left and was doing this when he left, and he went to WWF and the whole McMahon's Bodybuilding Federation or whatever the hell it was called. You know all that stuff now, whereas back then you just didn't even care. You're just watching wrestling.
Well, in the stuff last week about the conservatives, that wasn't really thinly veiled at all.
No, not at all.
He just went for that.
He just went for the throat, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else, Crockett, before I go to Cactus won the match, double arm underhook DDT. Anything else before I go to Cactus's promo right here with Schiavone after the match?
No, it's just pretty basic. He didn't do anything on the floor. Jesse theorized it was smart because Tex was there on the outside. So yeah, like you said, it is pretty basic and double arm DDT finish.
So on that note, we'll go to Cactus now, who's with Schiavone. He's cutting a promo after the match. Here it is.
Well, Jesse, I guess Maniac is one way to describe him, but I tell you what, 1993 has been a different year for you, Cactus, if I must say. You know, you once told me in an interview that you thrive and you get motivated off of the hate of all the fans, but I think it's very evident since January of this year, and especially right now, you're hearing the fans cheer you wherever you go.
There's a simple reason. You see, the fans know the Cactus Jack story, and they like it. It's a story based on brutality. A story based on going out and wrestling with injuries that should keep me in my bed for 6 months. It's a story about a lot of things, but thus far, Tony Schiavone, it has not been a championship story. Well, Cactus Jack is about to write a new chapter in the book. You see, because I've discovered one thing that I never had. Pride. Pride! You see, a few short weeks ago in a match with the world champion Big Man Vader, Cactus Jack came this close to getting a career victory. But the important thing was, Schiavone, the fans knew I could win. I knew I could win. And Big Van Vader, deep in that pea-sized heart of yours, you knew that Cactus Jack should have won. So I'm going to ask you this one time nicely. You're the most awesome performer the wrestling world's ever known. But you're up against Cactus Jack. So I'm saying to you, you bring it on next week on this program. Because when the irresistible force meets the immovable object, bang, bang, I guarantee you something's got to give. And it won't be me. It won't be me. Bang, 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 bang.
Cactus Jack with a challenge for next week, and Big Van Vader.
Bang, bang.
And we'll be right back. Stay with us.
I thought he was great. He's really serious. Your thoughts, Crockett?
No, yeah, it's fantastic. And like next week, it's like kind of a tentpole moment in WCW Saturday Night because this is kind of an infamous match we're going to see next week.
Yeah, that's a great tease right there.
Yeah.
From there, we go to Max Payne versus Ronnie Hagen. Did you know, Crockett, you weren't here when we watched Max Payne play the freaking guitar and look ridiculous. You got any thoughts about that? They show a quick clip of it as Max Payne is walking out.
It's awesome, man. I don't know what it is with you, Mills. You've never given Max Payne a shot. I was here the first week he appeared. He made his WCW debut, and yes, he was kind of wearing the same gear that Big Bad Mama wore in The Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling, but he's fantastic. I don't understand why you never gave this guy a shot. From moment one, you were all over this guy. Why? Is it because he quotes Judas Priest and Megadeth and not like
I had
Kumo
that shirt.
D? You had the Metallica shirt?
Yeah, that one there. They had all the albums on it.
Oh yeah. What is it? What is it about this guy? I know you're.
First off, not only did I not give him a chance, but Harper didn't either, nor did Doc.
No,
because the
like
minute
shit.
he started cutting promos, but I don't know the music that they were that Payne is talking about. Harper's like, bro, he's quoting lyrics, and Doc's saying the same thing. So they both are like, this is ridiculous, and his gear is getting better. Look, far be it from me to criticize.
Yeah, because his gear looked very jobbish.
And his hair too. What the hell was going on with the hair? Now at least he's got the hair down. He's got like long tights on. He's got a t-shirt, whatever. But I mean, he looks better now than he did. But I just don't get it. Max Payne from the State of Euphoria. What's so euphoric about this?
If he was quoting the Chronic in promos instead of fucking what is not Love Gun? What is the Judas Priest?
What was he quoting, Harper? I don't even remember now.
It was Megadeth. I think
Hello,
it was
me.
Bullets.
Read the real
Read the
me.
real me and my misfits way of life.
What the hell is that shit, man? Like I said, let me just start quoting Warren G. I mean, like I never would have thought of quoting song lyrics in promos on the mud shows. So
it's like that and like this and like that and
Yeah.
Right.
like this and like that and like this and
exactly.
Chill to the next episode.
Yeah,
next
imagine. I mean, I can't even imagine going out there cutting a promo, and for what? We don't love them hoes. I mean, like, what are we doing here? This is ridiculous. Like, yeah, I don't get it. His look. Don't get me wrong. His look is much better. But whenever they announce him as Max Payne from the State of Euphoria, you lost me at that point. I mean, it's just, I don't know what else I'm supposed to do with that.
All I know is that he's brought me endless joy because I hear Doc and Harper quoting all sorts of metal lyrics. So that
Turbo Lover.
Yeah, that's the one. I said Love Gun. Yeah, Turbo Lover. Yeah.
Hello, me. Meet the real me. What the piss? Like the first time I heard that, I immediately was like, what? And then Doc's like, he's quoting. I'm like, oh, okay.
I mean, there's like a tradition of that. Like Dusty would always quote like country lyrics. I think Jake Roberts would quote some stuff, but not so blatantly. Just like the first 3 stanzas. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then he's gonna say chorus.
To be fair,
a little booklet with the CD, guitar solo.
To be fair, with Michael Hayes and Dusty and these people quoting country lyrics, the first time I heard Dusty, his whole promo wasn't a country lyric.
No,
Michael Hayes' whole promo wasn't a country lyric. It wasn't that. So yeah, when I hear this, I'm like, wait. And that's the other thing. Dusty and Michael Hayes could deliver a promo. No disrespect to Max Payne. I don't know anything about him personally. I'm sure he's a wonderful human being. There's nothing in those promos that make you go, man, that was good. Like we're about to see from somebody like Arn Anderson. So I know you're giving me hell, Crockett, because I've been giving Max Payne hell since he came in, but it just doesn't work for me, brother. Sorry.
Watch the sniper. Time to pay the piper.
All right. Did you have any thoughts on Max Payne winning there with the arm bar thing he does?
No, just stellar performance.
Let's go now to the man who's about to get the Rolex or the Toot Toot Award for this week's episode. I'm giving it away now. Arn Anderson, because I love this. Here it is. He's with Tony Schiavone ringside.
Very much. Arn Anderson has joined us, and Arn, I know there's a lot on your mind. We have a big program tomorrow on the main event, and I know that has a lot to do with why you're out here.
Well, tomorrow night on the main event, Eric Watts, we finally get to settle this little dispute we've gotten. You see, there's not going to be any political stroke hanging over my head. You don't have to worry about anybody coming from the back running in on the match. It's just going to be you and I, head up, man to man, and then let's put this thing behind us and move on to further business. And the further business at that time is Barry Windham. You see, Barry Windham, I was sitting at home the night you won the NWA title, and I felt good for you because that's something that a man achieves once in a lifetime, sometimes never. And I felt good for you, and when Ric Flair rolled in that ring to congratulate you, I felt good for him because I know what he was feeling. You see, you were one of the horsemen, one of the elite. That was something that will live in infamy. It's no longer a myth, though, Windham. You see, you snub Flair every chance you get. Maybe you even snub the Four Horsemen. But the one thing at this point in time you're not going to be able to snub is Arn Anderson. You see, I've been reborn, Windham. New attitudes. I'm going to still make some people miserable, but this time it's going to be people that deserve it, namely you. So understand one thing. I know you better than anybody else, and maybe you do me too. But in some arena across this country, I'm going to wrestle you for something I've never had a chance in the history of my career to wrestle for. That's the NWA title. The fact that you're the holder just makes you the victim. You may snub me between now and then, but at some point I catch up to you, and then we'll see what kind of attitude you have. Head up.
Arn Anderson. More still to come on Saturday Night. Fans, stay right where you are.
Jesus, Lord, he's so good. Crockett, your thoughts?
No, it was good shit. He got the point across. He did the this whole Barry thing is a little weird, but he kind of tied it up nicely. And the Eric Watts thing, hopefully that is tied up nicely and put away for good.
So about that, I just love how Arn says there's not going to be a political stroke over my head. So he's making sure people know Bill Watts was screwing him. And then he turns his attention to Barry. So here's the thing. For the record, Arn did battle Eric Watts the next day on the main event. Eric Watts defeated Arn, but it was by disqualification at about the 11-minute mark when Bobby Eaton interfered and came off the top rope onto Arn Anderson as Watts was about to put the STF on Arn. So, and I got that from the history of WWE.com because I did want to look it up to see what the results were there. So I guess that was their way of kind of getting out of that without Arn losing. But Arn's choice of words, there's not going to be political stroke over my head. I mean, he's not letting it go. He's, I guess Arn's like, man, this man was screwing me all these months he was here. I'm going to say anything I feel like on these promos, and he's doing it. So for the record, that is what happened with him and Eric on that next night. In terms of Barry.
Speaking of stroke, you're going all Jaworski. Every time he brings any of this stuff up, you're all over it. You love it.
Please don't ever compare me to Jaworski.
That's nice. He's a Browns fan.
Harper, why did you even start bringing? I don't know what. I get this question all the time from people. Why Jaworski is brought up so much? Well, it's one, because he's a clown and a buffoon, but you were the one who started bringing up Jaworski's name always on the podcast.
What I
remember? I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was Jaworski's one of the long-time listeners, and he would just bring stuff up either on the Facebook group or something in the early days. But the Facebook group didn't start until 2018. The show started in 15. But it was 2016 or 17. Jaworski was being brought up on the show because I've had people send me clips. They go, "No, y'all were talking about him here," and it was always you making fun of him for cranking off to something, and that's how it started. Never gone away.
We need to do a Patreon episode of the origins of Jaworski.
The origins are he's a Browns fan living in Pittsburgh. Something is wrong with that picture.
And he went to Youngstown State. You forgot that?
Did he?
Yes.
I mean, I know you always post about
home of the
Youngstown.
Penguins. Fuck.
Right, but I didn't know he went there. I just thought he liked posting about that stuff. I mean, he didn't play for the Pirates.
A fan of Youngstown State if you didn't go there.
I mean, I'm a fan of the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. I've never been to Canada in my life.
But are you really a fan? Do you have a T-shirt?
Dude, I actually have quite a few of them, and I watch them every week.
No way. No way.
Okay, what were you about to call me? Because it was getting ready to come out.
You fucking dork. Where do you buy that? That's not on Fanatics, right?
They have this thing called the internet, Harper. You can get anything you want off of it. You ought to try it sometime.
Fanatics controls everything.
No, Fanatics does not control CFL merchandise.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Spend your money on a goddamn Canadian Football League T-shirt.
I don't see a problem here.
Yeah.
You fucking buy expired cereal and hot dogs. What are we getting at here?
Hey.
See?
They're still good.
You see? Harper's always about, man, live your life, freedom and all that stuff. Let you shave your head. All of a sudden he calls you all kind of crazy names. Yeah. It's no longer your hair, your choice. It's you're a fucking idiot for shaving your head even though you can grow hair. That's hard
right.
for you.
When's the last time you let it grow, Mike? When's the last time you let it grow?
I've told this story, but I'm going to tell it again. I can grow a full head of hair. I shaved it when my dad was going through chemo back in.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
2007, was it? Hold on. 2007. And I haven't grown it since then. I can grow hair, though. And that pisses Harper off to no end. Yes.
Because there was a guy, there's an episode of Seinfeld. There was a guy that shaved his head, and George is pissed off because he shaved his head when he had hair.
See?
And the guy let it grow in, and it turns out he was balding. So maybe something happened in the interim.
I have an electric shaver that I use it twice a week to get that shit off the top of my head. Okay, in the sides, in the back.
See, look, you don't know how much hair you have then if you're doing that shit twice a week.
Okay.
Yeah, you got to let it grow a little bit.
How did we get from Jaworski to this?
Let's experiment here.
Yeah.
I'm not growing my hair out. It looks really.
You're afraid.
You work from home,
Michael. You are afraid of the truth that one day you might look in the mirror thinking there's hair because you haven't shaved it, and you look like Dr. Phil. You know it. I know it. Your wife knows it, and the listeners knows this. You are bald, and you don't have the smallings to admit it, and that's why you shave your head, Michael Mills.
That's not true, but okay.
Someone says it finally.
Well, he called me trans bald last time. Because he said I'm not bald, but I identify as bald.
Right,
which is
exactly.
That is very insensitive. I don't appreciate you saying such rude things to me.
Yeah,
we are
to
the wokest
trans-bald
podcast.
Community. HBTG.
IA plus, right?
Yeah, that's what the B stands for. People think it's bisexual. It means bald.
I heard that last week.
Yeah.
Insex means you're attracted to bugs, right?
Right.
Intersex.
Yeah.
How did we get from Jaworski to this?
You brought it up.
Anyway, back to
Trans-bald.
Jaworski. It really upsets
love.
Harper that I can grow a full head of hair, but I choose to shave it off. Back to
You're
Jaworski.
so full of shit. You've been lying to yourself so much. What's so horrible is that you actually believe the words that are spewing out of your mouth, Michael. Admit it. You're bald. My God. This is horrible.
I mean, even if you did have a full head of hair, you've been shaving it for so long that God just strikes you down and
Exactly.
Y'all want to know what's funny? These two assholes who think they're cutting a promo on me, neither one of them can grow a full head of hair, and it pisses them off to no end.
You're goddamn right.
And they're
it does.
mad because I can.
we want to bring you over to our side.
See, you should see Harper when he when he forgets to shave or doesn't have time to. He's got that Dr. Phil shit down to a T. I mean, the only thing that's missing is the stash.
The day before a show now. I just don't feel like doing it, bro. I used to do it once a week, and now it's just like, who gives a fuck?
So you walk around looking like Dr. Phil 5 days of the week.
And my beard's all
great.
grown out and shit.
I'm not quite there, but I got a hefty, a very large skin yarmulke on the back of my head.
See, there you go.
Nice.
All right. Back to wrestling. Jaworski's a buffoon. The origin of it is because Harper has made fun of him since 2016. He lives in Pittsburgh. He's a Cleveland Browns fan. He's also a moron and an idiot who causes the show trouble.
State, and he's a Pirates fan.
Yeah, he's a Pirates fan and a Browns fan.
Yeah.
Oh, he loves metal.
Well, if he's from Youngstown State is in Ohio, so maybe he was born there, and then he eventually moved to Pittsburgh. You ever think of that, Michael, with your quote-unquote full head of fake hair? My God.
Rick, that's going to be great. Oh, the listeners are going to love that. Rick Rude's taking on Dale Diamond, and Rude ain't wasting time with this sap. We do get a picture-in-picture promo. They're back during this match, and Rude basically calls out Dustin Rhodes again regarding the U.S. title. Crockett, I don't think this thing went a minute. Your thoughts?
No, yeah, very quick. I will say, though, at the very beginning, I want to acknowledge that Rick Rude has one of only 2 songs on the Slam Jam album that is good. I love his
songs.
No. I'm saying there's 2 songs on the Slam Jam album that are good. This is one of them. The other one, of course, is "Everybody, Here Comes Tico Scorpio."
Oh, that's
great. The other one.
Do that again. That was phenomenal. God, you hit those high notes to it too, man.
Yeah.
His throat's hurting over there, man.
Everything else on that album is dog shit, but yeah.
Jesus Christ. Lady Crockett is about to come out the room and go, what the shit was that? Holy crap. Everybody hails to Scorpio.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I think maybe the same woman sings Rick Rude's song. I don't know, though.
Let's look at the you know what? Put Jaworski on that. Whether it's true or not, he will still crank off to it because that's all he does.
He's got full head of hair.
I forget his name.
Who?
His name, Jaworski?
Jaworski, yeah.
I mean,
he's proud.
Yeah.
It's all the fertilizer that he shoots into his ceiling when he's cranking off that drips down onto his head, I guess. I don't know.
You see?
What?
So
but no, seriously, I forget Philip's last name. It starts with an M. He actually asked the question like over a year ago on the Facebook group. He's like, what is the origins of Jaworski? And then we had to explain it to him. And I'm now doubting myself on if that was the true origins of it. But a lot of people chime in on that moron. He's such a clown, God, man. He's just, he's nothing but a headache. Anyway.
Him and Zoncha.
No,
yeah, I
Zoncha's
think
a good kid.
Part of it is, Yeah, part of it's probably the first name that Harper remembered.
Maybe so.
Of a listener.
That might be it. But yeah, I do remember Harper making fun of him. He's like, he's a Browns fan. He lives in Pittsburgh.
I bet the neighbors love him.
Oh my God. Imagine the noises that come out of that house when you're cranking off 99 times a day.
Come on, man. Stop.
All right.
He's a married man.
Yeah, it's even worse. All right. Let's go to Dusty
spots.
You just go in a car and do it. Just go in the garage and close the door.
Go in the car and do it. What are you?
Yeah, just go in the garage and just fucking lock the door.
Okay. Well, we need to hear from Dusty Rhodes because remember, we got Slamboree 93 coming up. Let's hear what old Dusty's got to say about that.
The American Dream with a Slamboree moment. On May the 23rd, the Omni, the Mecca of wrestling, will host the largest gathering of legends in the history of wrestling. Every child that's heard his mom or dad talk about a great legend will be able to see them walk that aisle one more time. This is the biggest event in the history of my profession. 3 men already signed out of 45. Gene Kaniski, Big Thunder, will walk that aisle. Wahoo McDaniel will walk that aisle. And let me tell you now, Grandma, back away from that chair, because in the Omni on the 23rd at Slamboree, the Legends Reunion, Wrestling 2 will return to the Omni. They say when the Lord made the moon, it had a Wrestling 2 mask on. Well, I'll tell you one thing. In the Omni, Wrestling 2 did hang the moon. This is Dusty Rhodes, and next week I'll be back with another Slamboree moment.
These Slamboree moments are going to get out of control. Not really out of control, but some of them are very, very lengthy. Bischoff's going to be hosting them. That was real quick. That's just Dusty kind of setting the stage, but it's going to take up a lot of time on some of the shows. Any thoughts, Crockett, before we keep going?
No, it's not so much a moment as just announcing people that are in the at Slamboree. So I don't know what's a Slamboree moment. It's just saying people that are going to be there.
Yeah. Well, more to come. We'll now go to Chris Benoit and Bobby Eaton versus the Z-Man and Johnny Gunn. I don't know why. I made a note that said, make sure you play the audio at 26:15, and I don't even remember why I made that note. But anyway, it is the finish at that point. But before we go to that, did you have anything from this match?
There was at some point, I don't have the timestamp. There was a nice blind tag, and then the piece of shit clotheslines in the back of the head.
I knew you were.
So that was a good spot. At 24:55, something that we can take a look at right near the finish. A nice big double team by piece of shit and Bobby Eaton. And
that actually looked good, man.
Yeah, and look at this. Johnny Gunn rolls out, basically gets up. He's back in the corner 5 seconds later. Takes a huge double team. It's like a combination, like torture rack neck breaker to the mat. Yeah. Takes him down to the mat.
That looked different.
And he's already back up again.
It looked good. That looked good. Like Benoit puts him in the torture rack, and then Eaton does like a neck breaker. And that's a nice little double team move. I mean, I don't know the last time I've seen. I don't think I've seen that before, but I guess
would have been nice if it was sold.
Yeah, it would have been nice if it was sold. But hey, this is Z-Man and Johnny Gunn. You know. Anyway, not that they're bad. It's just, boy, they're just floundering now in this promotion. Okay, go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, good. There is an absolutely fucking 100% cold as ice hot tag coming up. But then we're going into the finish, and there's more to come with that.
All right, so let me go to that. I'm going to play it from here, and here's the finish.
Wow. We got all four now.
And I'm very surprised the Z-Man and Johnny Gunn are taking it to him.
In the ropes. Double T. Wait a minute. Barry Windham, hang on here. Let me get a microphone here for Barry. Thank you. All right, Barry, here's the microphone.
I've got something to say here to Anderson. Right, Anderson thinks that he should be the champion already. Well, let me tell you something, Arn. I earned this heavyweight championship
Arn has always been the bridesmaid. He's never been the bride. I'm sitting here in the dressing room listening to what he's got to say. And I guarantee you, that championship is mine. Arn Anderson, I don't take anything for granted. You want me, you can find me very easily. I'm right here in the dressing room, and I don't walk away from anybody.
Wow. Well, that problem.
Of course, I had that written down right underneath my note for the timestamp. I just had it listed wrong. Barry comes out and cuts a promo, but Eaton hits the Alabama Jam on Gunn as Gunn had Benoit pinned, but as we heard there, Benoit Eaton win when Benoit then pins Z-Man or Gunn. I can't remember which one it was. Anyway, that was finished, but the main thing there was when we heard from Barry talking about Arn. He's like, I ain't hard to find, and I thought that was good. Any thoughts, Crockett?
Good.
Yeah, two things. First of all, they do that. The babyfaces do that nice double backdrop, right before the whole thing goes down, and then Gunn picks him right back up and just body slams him back down. Like, you just did a big double team move to get the guy down on the mat, just to pick him up and body slam him again, which doesn't quite make sense. And then, as this whole thing is happening, and Bobby Eaton's coming off the top rope behind the ref's back to hit him with the Alabama Jam. The strange decision to send Barry Windham out at that point, right as the finish is happening, like right over the last 10 seconds of the match, was very odd. But
could have been late.
It could have been late, maybe early. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
I think either he was late or because it's such a short show, like he just wasn't. Somebody missed the cue and just saying, "Oh shoot, Barry should have went out there at the beginning of it to start talking about that." Because I feel like what they were trying to do was, wait, we don't have enough time to do another promo. Let's just send Barry out there doing one of the matches. The problem is these matches are so quick because it's only 41 minutes of TV time this week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I agree with you, Crockett. It was definitely odd to have him do it as the finish was happening. And like you said, right before that ice cold hot tag, there was nothing hot about that tag, man. I'm like, I just rewatched it back. I'm like, no shit, that was really ice cold.
Yeah. So, well, piece of shit was involved. So, whatever.
Come on, leave Tom Zeke alone.
he's talking about.
He's no longer with us as well.
Oh man, old Benoit. All right. Well, from there we're gonna go to Harley Race and Big Van Vader. They are cutting a promo, and here that is.
Back on WCW Saturday Night, and fans, you heard the challenge earlier from Cactus Jack, and here he is, the world champion, Big Van Vader. Challenges from Davey Boy Smith from Sting, and now from Cactus Jack.
Cactus Jack! You fool! You idiot! You're dumber than you look! Who's the man? Who's the man that has no fear and feels no pain? Who's the man that owns the WCW? Every wrestler that steps in that ring pays with their blood, sweat, and their tears. But let me tell you something, Cactus Jack. You ask Ron Simmons who the man is. You ask Sting who the man is. You ask Joe Thurman who the man is. Because, brother, you're looking at him, the most powerful wrestler in the world today, Big Van Vader. You want me? You don't gotta beg, and you don't gotta look very hard, brother, because all you got to do is show up next week, and I'll embarrass you again. Come on down, Jack. Get some more of this Vader. Get some more of me, brother. Yeah. Who's the man? Who's the man? Yeah.
The world champion's the man, Big Van Vader.
Well, I'll tell you what, Cactus Jack, if you've got any sense, you leave this man alone. He'll eat your scoop shovel, and I'll guarantee you next week he's gonna eat you.
Let's go to the ring for the next event.
What'd you say whoa for, Harper?
No, like we had like, hey, to get more of this, you do like it's like he's doing the shocker thing or something.
Two of the pig, one of the steak.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ask Joe Thurman about the two of the pig and one of the steak.
Jesus Christ. What is wrong with y'all?
Ask
There
Sting
goes the
about
sponsors.
the two of the pig and one of the steak. Look at it. He must
Yo, what is wrong with y'all, man? Oh my God! If you okay, patrons can see the snippet here where we froze the video. Harper, you want to describe what Cactus is doing at the video right now where we paused it?
Yeah, Vader looks like he's about to do the.
Oh God!
Oh, man.
Two in a pig, two in a steak.
Steak. Steak about two in a pig and one in a steak. What do you think happened up in those mountains with those models?
Jesus, Harper.
What?
What's wrong with you? Grow up.
What do you think happened at the White Castle of Doom?
White Castle.
We're just eating burgers.
Yeah, whatever that shit was called.
White Castle of Fear.
Yeah, whatever. It sounds like a toy.
Spin the wheel.
Man.
Spin the wheel. Spin the wheel. Oh God! All
I like this promo from Vader. This is good.
Yeah,
it was good. Yeah, I just kind of laughed when Harley said, "Leave this man alone. He'll eat your scoop shovel."
Yeah, what does that mean? The scoop shovel.
Well, you know that big old shovel, that cactus, the big snow shovel, cactus.
Oh, yeah.
I've been using it like every now and then. He's gonna eat it. I'm like, wait, what? Anyway, oh man, no, it was pretty fired up, man. I like Vader, man. Vader's great, and Harley's great too. So good stuff, and yeah, they're putting Cactus on notice. From there, we go to Too Cold Scorpio and Marcus Bagwell versus the Wrecking Crew. At 29:48, we get some tandem dick dancing going on. Boy, Doc would have loved that if he was here tonight with these two. We are dancing. We're having a good time. Look at these people in the crowd. I mean, this is tremendous. Harper, I'm surprised. Look at this lady and this dude. Okay, so you see those two, right?
Yeah.
Okay, now watch the guy to the left in a second. I mean, he's jamming. Look at him.
Oh, yeah,
is that easy? No, is that Flavor Flav?
That's nice.
It almost looked like him a little bit, except he's not skinny enough to be Flavor Flav. But man, the fans are loving this, man. Look at this old white woman too on the first row. She's clapping. She is clapping as they come in there dick dancing. Look. Oh, look. You see her, Harper, bottom right?
Oh, yeah.
Look at her. Yeah, baby, I could do something with that when I was younger. You can come over here and we can go all night. Okay. Anyway.
I like Marcus. He reminds me of my grandson back in Spartanburg.
Here we go with the tandem dick dancing.
Boy, this is fucking Jesus Christ.
Look at
Marcus
this
Bagwell, like a fucking robot.
It's so true. I cannot look at Scorpio without thinking what he said about Marcus either. Marcus talking that shit, his dick about this big. Every time I see Scorpio with Marcus, that's all I can think about now. Oh, goodness. What a freaking dark side of the ring. Oh, boy. Okay. So, where are we at, Crockett? Let me throw to you for your thoughts on this. Is the main event of the episode.
Well, this was a stark contrast to the last match. We have an over babyface tag team here with Bagwell and Too Cold as opposed to the, what do you call me, Ambient Express?
Yes.
Yeah. So
for sure.
was very much a different kind of tag team match. During this match, Jesse says he went back to the locker room to get the scoop about Arn and Barry. And Jesse says that Barry is holding up the reunion of the Four Horsemen. He's waited his whole career to call Four Horsemen matches, and Barry's fucking it all up. So that's kind of what Jesse's saying. At 31:30, I have a timestamp.
Do we need audio from it or just?
No, I don't think so. I think it's a move that I wrote down. He just barely cleared him, whatever that means. I think it might be a leapfrog or something.
Well, we're used to seeing small screw ups in center stage. There.
Oh yeah, there it is. Just
he
barely got over him.
He was Bagwell was doing like a reverse, almost crossbody into a roll up or sunset flip.
Right.
Yeah.
And he barely cleared him.
Could have gone a lot worse. Yeah.
Yeah, it could have been a lot worse for sure. Okay, keep going.
At one point, Scorpio was a chin lock on one of the Wrecking Crew, and they're both like just on the mat, facing the wrong direction, away from the hard cam. You can kind of tell the inexperience of the two guys, that they're not quite knowing where they are. After like 15 seconds, they finally turn around to face the hard cam. But then we get at 36:05 an early version of a choke slam, which is with no air whatsoever.
I think I've seen him do this before.
Oh.
I think he's done that before. The Wrecking Crew guy. I think he's done that before. I just can't remember.
Yeah, chokeslam really didn't become a thing into the mid '90s. I think Sid had done it a little bit. I think I remember like the Mountie doing a version of it in the WWF, but yeah, it wasn't really a commonplace move at this point.
And that wasn't much of a slam as much as it was, I'm gonna grab you by the neck and just throw you backwards.
Yeah, basically.
Because I don't think Scorpio or Bagwell's feet left the mat.
No, and at 37:40. I wrote, this is a snapshot of the early 90s.
All right, so we're at 37:30. Let me see what's going on here.
I think it's Harper's two friends coming to ringside.
Let's see.
Okay. Yeah, buddy.
Oh, yeah. The Cole brothers.
They got the what do you call those jackets, Harper?
It's the satin jackets.
Yeah,
satin jacket, yes. They got the two fanny packs.
It's like on
acid wash jeans.
It's like on Street Fighter 2, like Championship Edition. You could do Guile versus Guile. If you like Guile, like he'll be brown instead of green.
Dude, I don't think people realize if you were in an independent locker room in the mid to late 90s, how many guys walked in not looking exactly like them, but with a haircut similar to that, a fanny pack and jeans on, or jean shorts. I mean, that was the quintessential look.
Wearing a Button Your Fly t-shirt.
Man. With the t-shirt tucked in.
I used to tuck my t-shirt in.
You probably still do it looking like a slap dick.
Why did we do that?
Because we were stupid. It was the stupid stuff. Dude, look, man, we romanticize
Everybody used to do that shit. They tuck your t-shirt in.
We romanticized the 90s, and it was a great time, don't get me wrong, before social media. But, man, when you look at some of the pictures you have from back in the day and how you dressed, you like, God damn, what the hell was I thinking? And then I always think of the stories with you and Randy at freaking Kenny's Key West, partying with the cokeheads in Metairie, and you got a LOD shirt on, rubbing baby oil on the freaking, oil wrestlers.
Hey, it was a different time.
I know.
What, you gonna try to cancel me now?
Hell no. But you're not gonna call me trans ball no more.
Hey, well, what do you want me to do? Lie?
Okay. Thank God Doc's not here for this.
Yeah.
Boy, for real.
The wokest of us all.
Oh my
what's your corporate number?
Okay. That just every time I hear something stupid like that, it reminds me of when I worked at Burger King in high school, and that idiot was chewing me out because Burger King canceled the Great American Burger. Y'all got to do better than this. Okay, sir, let me call corporate. I'm sure they care about what my 17-year-old ass has to say from some dipshit in the drive-thru. It was just this burger that they had when I was in high school, and not that many people got it, but it was enough where, I don't know, they had like 3 different ways of getting it. You could get sauteed onions on it, mushrooms, and then they, dress it like the way a Whopper would, or, you can add different cheeses to it. But the patty tasted, I don't know how to describe it, but the meat was thicker than a Whopper, and it had a different taste to it. It wasn't bad at all. And I just remember this guy coming through, and I'm like, yeah, we no longer sell that. Oh my God, y'all got to do better than this. I mean, you got to tell corporate, dude, I'm a 17-year-old working the drive-thru on a Friday night. Corporate don't give 2 flying shits what I got to say to them about the Great American Burger.
Did you see McDonald's has that it's a Big Mac chicken thing?
Yes.
I heard about it. I didn't see it.
Yeah, I saw the commercial. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Speaking of McDonald's, not to go back to the price of things today, but I 2 adults, 2 kids, right? 2 Happy Meals and two adult meals.
I already know what you're gonna say.
I spent $41.
Bro, you
at
might as well
McDonald's.
just with the Applebee's, bro.
I know,
dude. Me and my wife
couldn't believe
it. We say that all the time. It's like because the 19-year-old, he ain't with us a lot now because he goes to work and whatnot. So we always got he's on his own thing, right? He's got wheels, license, working. He goes hang out with his friends, whatever. Goes to work. The other one, she's with us more often. I'm not going to. Well, I can't say I'm not going to Whataburger because I would go there, but I'm not going to McDonald's. I'm not going to this place. I was like, if I want to eat, we gonna go to Chili's or somewhere like that, or one of these little establishments where we gonna sit down, and I'm not spending $40 on McDonald's.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing. If it's 3 adults, like 3 adult meals, Crockett, you're going to spend 40 easily. Like the Happy Meals at least keep you under $10 a meal.
Yeah, dude. It's
for them
at
at
least.
least.
Crazy, bro. I went to Subway. I was like, I'm only going because I got this coupon.
That's me.
That fucking came in the mail. That's the only reason I'm doing this.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy.
All right. Back to this finish. We were about to start talking about it, but we got sidetracked by the Cole twins in their fanny packs and tucked in T-shirts or satin jackets. Anything else, Crockett, before we go to the finish?
No, man. As they were going to the finish, though, there's this weird thing where Jesse and Tony just got on this kick of calling Scorpio the Cold Man. And they called him the Cold Man like 5 or 6 times in like the last minute of this match. And it was just very... very weird. It's like cold man. I couldn't understand it, and I was slightly entertained by it.
I feel like they've said that before, and I didn't make a note to talk about it, but they've called him that before, and it's weird because it's like, are they trying to direct that? Like, is that hidden? Is that code language?
Was that code for like Iceman?
Like, I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Like, it made me wonder if they were like trying to like say something inside baseball. I don't think they were, but it was a little weird the way they kept saying it. But the finish, we get a hot tag to Scorpio. Scorpio comes in. He's on fire. All 4 guys end up going at it. Scorpio ends up hitting the 450, and Bagwell and Scorpio win, and they get another great reaction. I mean, the fans really love them. I don't know how else to say it. They're over. Scorpio's been over since he came in. They made you actually enjoy a Wrecking Crew match, which, again, no disrespect to them, but these matches that they're in they leave a lot to be desired, and that's my only thought. Any closing thoughts, Crockett, on the match?
No, I mean, like you said, they're over and pretty good.
Here comes to go Scorpio. Everybody. Let's go now to Scorpio and Bagwell. They're with Tony Schiavone ringside, and then we might see a couple of run-ins of some folks. Here that is.
Once again, the wins continue. That has to be your biggest win on television today.
That is definitely my biggest win on television today. Scorpio and Marcus Alexander Bagwell, 2 of the young lions in WCW today. And with all these great fans behind us, we're going straight to the top. But let me tell you, another young lion tag team in World Championship Wrestling today. That's my brothers, the Cole Twins. Come on out, baby.
All right. Kent, Keith, the Cole Twins are here. I tell you what, guys, things are looking red hot here in World Championship.
What's this on?
Wait a minute.
Just a minute. Now move out of the way, rookies. I got something to say here. Now, I've been back there listening to Arn Anderson, and I have gone through enough. I want you, or you,
Arn Anderson's coming
to
up.
go get Arn Anderson right now and tell him I'm waiting on it. Hey, right now, tell him. Tell him yourself. I will tell him myself, but go get him and I'll do it. Why don't you just turn around and tell him? Just turn around.
Oh, my. Whoa. Arn Anderson nailing Barry Windham, and they've thrown Barry Windham into the ring. The enforcer, Arn Anderson, working over the NWA champion, catches him with a forearm. Windham rolling outside the ring. And we're out of here. We'll see you next week.
I guess that's how you go off air. Thoughts, Crockett?
Yeah, not bad. I mean, little bit of the early Tony Schiavone hyperbole where he says that was their biggest win on television to date against the Wrecking Crew. Well, I guess. But
I mean, he's not wrong, but yeah, I hear you.
So yeah, they ended with Arn and Barry, and hopefully finally something will happen there.
And Harper enjoyed looking at the Cole twins with their mullets and
yeah, and they didn't get to say anything. Poor bastards.
You missed it, Harper. Somebody on the YouTube channel was commenting when the first time we talked about it, when he claimed that either Kent or one of them was his dad and the other was his uncle. So
right,
the son of one of them is commenting about them, and then he's like, who the hell are these assholes talking about my dad and uncle? And I just said, thanks for listening.
I mean, he must be listening.
Right. I was like, well, thanks for listening, buddy. We appreciate you. Anyway, so that's how they go off air. This week's episode of April 10th of 1993. You know how we do it. Before we rate it, hand out the Rolex or toot to war, we got to remind you to become a patron, tinyurl.com/PatreonBTT. A great way to support the show, get tons of extra content. 400 plus Patreon exclusive shows are available there. tinyurl.com/PatreonBTT. All right, Crockett. Doc usually goes first. You go first since you're sitting in the chair tonight in his spot. What are you going to rate this thing?
I don't know. It's so weird because this time period, like, things are really picking up for WCW. Flair's back. You're starting with getting the Hollywood Blondes going now. And these shows, like these past few weeks, you guys were doing it, the past couple of weeks, and tonight, these shows are just kind of dry and there's not much going on. But it's a little weird. You think that it'd be with Flair, even the Flair stuff where he's just talking and talking and talking. Even that's starting to get old, and it's going to probably get older as he doesn't work for another few months. But as for the show here specifically, I mean, nothing really stood out here. I guess a B-.
I understand what you mean. This is not me saying Bill Watts was great. There were times during Watts's tenure that we just had a lot of excitement, and then there were times where it was just dumb, like when he banned the reptiles. So, like, I'm not trying to say Bill Watts should still be here. I mean, Bill Watts did some dumb stuff. Like, there's no other way to put it. Both in the promotion and outside of promotion, on his ridiculous interview that he did with Wade Keller, which led to his resignation or firing, depending on who you believe. But the thing about Watts, there were times, again, when he booked Ron Simmons to win the title. I mean, we had moments that were really exciting. We also had moments that made no sense whatsoever. You can tell they're kind of in a transition, even though it's been a little while since he's been gone, because I do agree it's like some of the shows are just really, really bland. Now, I gave this a B because I thought Arn was great. It was also 41 minutes. It was a real quick watch. The Arn and Barry stuff was good, but like to the point you made, I don't think Doc realized this, because I think I mentioned to him last week, like, you better get used to hearing Flair talk, because you ain't going to see him wrestle for a while. I mean, he couldn't wrestle. So think contractually, because of his WWF contract or whatever, that there was a reason he couldn't still wrestle. So we still got all those Flair for the Gold segments that are coming up, which those are kind of funny at first, but then they even start to drag. More on that as we get to it. But I'm going to give it a B. Harper, what are you going to give it?
I'll give it a B. 41 minutes long. We got the Arn promo. I'll take that.
Same here. So Crockett, that leaves the
promo.
Yeah, Cactus was good too. So that leaves us with the Rolex or toot award. Crockett, who are you giving yours to?
I don't know. For some reason, I was really struck by Vader's promo. I thought it was good. Like, you were bigger at it than you're bigger at it than you look. I kind of liked it, so I'm going to give it to Vader because it kind of I didn't expect that from him.
It was good. I think you got carried away with two in the pink, two in the stink.
maybe that's tinting my like his fingers were tinted. It's tinting my idea of the promo.
Y'all kind of lost y'all mind. He did. I say y'all. Harper did when Vader did that. Vader was great. Don't get me wrong. I loved it. I thought his promo was awesome. I'm gonna give it to Arn though. Arn can't let it go when it comes to Bill Watts talking about political capital and whatnot. So Arn's going to get it from me. Harper, who are you giving yours to?
I give it to Double A.
Trey, damn it.
Yeah.
Who would Zoncha give his to? Z-Man?
Z-Man, yeah.
I had somebody that's not a patron. I'm sorry, not a on Facebook or Twitter asked me if Zoncha was a real person. It's like nobody can really like Z-Man. Are y'all like, did y'all making up listeners? I'm like, no, Chris Zaha is a real human being. He's a wonderful human being. I assure you. Okay, I'm not on Facebook or anything, so I thought, it was just kind of like y'all were working the room. I'm like, okay, we're getting Darren terminology in here now, working the room. So, no, Chris Zaha, or as we call affectionately Zoncha, is a real person with a real family, real wife and kids, and he is a fine human being, and we love him. So there you go, Zoncha. There's a shout out to you. So he is.
Wait,
real.
what would Z-Man say? Oh no, it's Z-Man. What would D-Man say about one of the Stink, two in the pink? Or
like, why don't you grow up, bro? You don't think you're so funny, but you act like a fucking child.
We got Leon White over here.
Yeah.
Harper.
I was so fucking immature. Oh, by the way, I gotta go to BSI Comics and check my folder. I hope the new Spider-Man's in.
Folder. Oh, I had a folder way back in the day.
Oh yeah, I fucking had a folder. It was like a bar, just walking. Hey, let me check my folder. Hey, what's up, man?
Hey, D-Man, what do you think about Vader's career? Any thoughts on Vader?
Well, people forget he was a big football player. I mean, I think he played against Randy White with Dallas, right? In the NFC Championship game?
Sure.
It's a baby bull.
Yeah.
Wait, we got Crockett imitating D-Man. Harper, your problem is y'all think y'all fucking funny. Y'all ain't fucking funny. I mean, it's just fucking, bro, Mike, I got a question for you. Why every time you imitate me, you sound like a special person?
That's nice.
That's what he asked me. Oh, and I went back for everybody asking. It is the very first D-Man appearance on the show that D-Man made. It was me, Harper, Luke. I'm sorry, the champ. I'm sorry, Orrin. Oh, no, Luke Hawks. I'm sorry. Even though D-Man called him by his government name like 5 different times, he called me that. Anyway, it's the 4 of us. And he didn't ask me, bro, you a worker, bro? He didn't say it like that. But I did listen back and I found the clip. D-Man does say, we were talking about something independent-wise in Louisiana. And he did say, Mike, are you a worker? Oh, D-Man. Among many things that he said on that episode, I had totally forgotten, Harper. We took questions from the Facebook group for D-Man, and every last one of them was about cranking off and just stupid stuff. And then, Luke is asking the questions. He goes, okay, let me go to the next one. This one's a little bit better. Steven Jaworski wants to know how many cranks you give to blah, blah, blah. And D-Man's losing his stuff. He's going, oh, man, come on, bro. What the piss, man? You all grow up. He was in rare form taking those questions. There was not one serious question, maybe one out of 50 that were asked. We didn't even get through them all. It was tremendous. So, quote the D-Man, nevermore. Now we got Crockett imitating him. Jesus Christ. All right. What else we got to do? Anything else? Crockett will be with us next week. Crockett, anything you want to plug about the wrestling podcast about nothing that's still on a hiatus?
No, I mean, I just talked to Malonis for the first time today for like 2 minutes for the first time in a couple of months. So,
okay. So you teased something the last time you were here and now still nothing.
That's bullshit.
Yeah, I thought something was going on, but as it turns out, nothing's going on.
Well, that really sucks, man. I mean,
well,
what am I going to do without the wrestling podcast about nothing?
What you've been doing for the past 4 years?
Nothing.
All right. Anything you want to plug? I got one more thing to tell Harper before we get out of here.
No, I'm good.
Okay. So the other thing that they were talking to D-Man about on this episode was we were plugging X-Rated, or we were talking about attending X-Rated. So Darren's complaining about going to X-Rated when it used to be at the Shamrock, because as he used to say, he used to wear a bulletproof vest to go there, right? And so I'm like, Darren, but like you don't realize it, man. You've become like a star, man. These people want to meet you. And Darren's like, oh, bro, you know how it is, Harper. You know why I don't like going to X-Rated. I can't bring my grandson. I can't bring Braden. You know, bro, I mean, come on, man. I mean, you know, he really enjoys the shows, and it's adults only, so I can't bring him, and blah, blah, blah. And Luke goes, yeah, but Darren, you can, you know, there's a lot of listeners, and you can meet Steven Jaworski. You know, he'll be there. Jaworski's never made an X-Rated show. So anyway, Luke's trying to talk Darren into going to X-Rated so he could take pictures with people like Jaworski.
Jesus, D-Man has a grandson? Jesus, what is he, 85?
Yeah.
He's got about 10 years on me.
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got about 10 years on me. I mean, how old is his grandson now? 16, 17?
He's something like that. He's in high school. It's crazy.
Yeah, he's
crazy.
Yeah, he's just not a little boy anymore. I mean,
yeah, I know, it's nuts.
This was about 4 years ago, the first time he was on. So, I mean, that doesn't seem like a lot, but if you got a 16-year-old, it's a big difference between 16 and 12, you know, so whatever, or 15 and 11. Anyway, his grandson's getting older now. Anyway, that's a D-Man story for y'all. So he didn't say, oh, you a worker, bro? He just said, wait, Mike, hold on a second. Are you a worker? Callaway.
I'm in the business, bro. Kayfabe.
And then we figured out we met each other like 20 years ago while I was in Target. He stops me to talk to me. Like, we figured it out after the fact. I go, dude, I met you before. Bro, I remember meeting you there. Yeah, bro, I remember that. You know, all of a sudden, we kind of both remembered. I was like, dude, I remembered you. Anyway, I guess that's it. We're going to get out of here this week. Harper, hit the tagline. Let's roll.
Book it, biatch.
Harper is crying broke because AI Bill Watts fined him a couple of months ago. And we keep hearing that you all want Harper to answer questions on the main show. Harper is ready to take your questions. If you want your question or questions answered, first send Harper $5 per question to his PayPal at cc30388cec@yahoo.com. After you send Harper $5, email your question or questions to chrisharper16wildcat@gmail.com. That's Wildcat with a K. And also email booking the territory at gmail.com your question. Make sure you state in your email what your name is and what your PayPal address is that you sent the money from. Remember, one question per $5. Kids, get your parents' permission before sending your money and emailing your questions. Lastly, if you missed the PayPal or email addresses, check the show notes and description for the details. And remember, be blessed and be a blessing.
This is A.I. Eric Bischoff. No, I am not the real Bischoff, so don't work yourself into a shoot like these useful idiots in the wrestling media field. With that said, congratulations on making it to the end of this week's show. Don't forget to send your comments about what the guys discussed tonight to Luke Hawks on Facebook and on Twitter or X or whatever the piss they call it now. The rumor is Luke likes answering BTT fan mail. Also, do the guys a solid by liking the show's Facebook, X, and Instagram pages. And don't forget to like and retweet or repost the show on all social media platforms. Lastly, become a BTT patron member where you get tons of extra shows. You can join at tinyurl.com/PatreonBTT. Until next week, piss off.